You said you were, say, a dropout from society. Well, you might say in that respect, but the fact that these same friends who had short hair in the old days are still around and now they have long hair, would you say that you're just
Well, it's just that now
distinguishing yourself?
it's just that now we have a little more nerve than we used to have because we know there are more of us.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
distinguishing yourself.
Right. In those days, there were just a few of us around. Like, and the musicians were in those days, all the ones that were playing at coffee house, were doing exactly the same shit as we're all doing now. I mean, in terms of our lifestyles, we're all living like low budget existence, kind of. You know, we've learned to like to get into things that are groovy rather than expensive. You know, we've developed certain tastes by like living on the sort of on the low edge financially, and it's made us think about other things besides making it, because we've seen people be successful, we've seen them be unhappy and successful, and that's not where it's at for any of us. You know, we don't care whether we're successful or not because we've been unsuccessful for years. You know.
Yeah, it doesn't bother you.
Right. It's no big sweat.
Well, if it comes along where you're successful and fairly wealthy,
Then maybe we'll see if we can find a better way to do it. You know, a better way to be successful and wealthy, a way that's more rewarding to us, in a way to spend our money in such a way so that it brings about more enjoyment for more people, or more something for more people, more food certainly. You know, like a lot of what we make now is just like money to live on for us and our friends and anybody around who doesn't have any bread or doesn't have anything, because there are always people around who need something. And I don't need anything. I don't really want anything. You know, I've got instruments and some. You know, I mean, like I know I can eat and stuff like that. It's not. I'm not really worried about anything. And there's nothing I really want, except to be able to play more music and to get better at it.
Well, how's this war in Vietnam hit you?
Well, not directly at all so far, except that it's starting to get hard to buy things like cymbals and guitar strings, certain kinds of things. You can't stock lots of them because they're making bullets out of them.
Yeah.
And that, like, is hitting us where we live a little bit, in that we're starting to get an idea that there's something going on in the world that nobody knows about very much, you know. But it's like, it's a big mystery, and it's not really a mystery. The war is like an effort on the part of the establishment to keep the economic situation in the United States comparatively stable.
Well, if you hadn't already served in the service,
would I go?
That's right.
I wouldn't go. I would not go. I am totally against war. I'm against it not on any religious principles, but just because I could never kill anybody. And I don't expect that in the natural course of things I would ever be brought to a situation in my head where I would want to kill anybody, or where I'd actually be able to do it. I just don't want to do it. You know, it's a sin. It might be the only sin that there is. It's like anti-life, and I'm against anything that's anti-life.
But do you think really there are some people, of course, who don't care about killing? I mean, if they do, but don't you think the majority of the guys fighting over there don't want to kill, but they have to?
I don't know whether they do or not. I think if they do object to killing, I don't see why they don't object to killing and say, I'm not going to kill, I refuse to kill, I'm not going to kill anybody. No matter what you do to somebody, it's not as bad as killing them. You know, like killing them is killing them.
Yeah,
that's sort of the final thing about it.
Right, and I don't see how anybody could do it. You know, I don't see how anybody could do it. How anybody could drop bombs on rice paddies or on little villages or something like that. I mean, it's really a horror to me. You know, it's not. I'm not intellectualizing about it. I'm only speaking from like newsreels and things that I've seen. And what I've seen is like really horrified me. I don't understand why it's going on. It's not my idea, and I don't feel like I'm any kind of subversive force. You know, I feel like an American, and I'm really ashamed of it lately. But I would, you know, I don't think the country has to do that. I don't think the people want it to happen. I think that other kinds of internal differences, you know, changes like social changes of some sort, that would make the economic thing work out in such a way so that it wouldn't be necessary to kill anybody. There's bound to be alternatives, is the thing. I think that killing people is like the stupidest thing we can do. Just stupid.
Supposedly there's a purpose. I mean, what purpose is there? Of course,
The purpose in the case of the war seems to be so that whoever the handful of people who have the actual monetary power in the United States will be able to retain that power. The whole idea, the whole power struggle, is like it's some kind of modern fallacy that by having something you're gaining something, like having lots of money or having a huge corporation or something like that. It all represents power, but the kind of power that is like it's illusory. It's not real power. It's I mean, it's like worthless. Like if you're gonna die. You're going to die, and all the things that you've done in terms of your power and your money and stuff like that are of absolutely no value. They're just like pointless. I think it's more important for me to live a good life than it is for me to be rich and powerful or something like that. But that whole drive toward power and wealth and I'm going to keep it all myself. Nobody's going to get any of mine. Is like it's insane.
Yeah.
It's an insane attitude.
Well, okay, yeah, I agree. But on this Vietnam thing, say our own country was directly threatened, would you?
I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do until such time as that actually happened. I'm not going to worry about it happening because I've got better things to worry about. If I want to worry about stuff, I don't know. See, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think in my own head. These are conclusions that I've just arrived at. They're not anything that anybody told me or anything I read. I've just arrived at them by watching things happen. I think that the world needs to be would best serve itself by taking care of itself. Like if everybody in the world could learn to be responsible to the extent of taking care of what's going on right around them, to seeing that nobody dies in front of them. To care a little, then the world's big problems would disappear. There aren't. I don't think there are any big problems. See, we're all human beings. We're all occupying this globe, and we have to learn how to live together. We have to, to learn to get along because we're using up the earth. We're using up our resources. We're creating weird situations in which we kill each other. We're destroying all the natural beauty around us, and we're destroying each other. And it doesn't seem like the way things should go. It seems like everybody should be working in some way to advance the world as a whole.